Okay, you're gonna get kicked out of this. I think there was a bit of an error that happened, so I kind of had to skip past a little bit back here to where we can get back to where we left off. So, hello there, everybody. Saban92 aka Nightmare, and welcome back to RB Axolotl. Aside from a minor broken save file, last episode. Oh yeah, we're now in this next episode. Confrontation. Last episode, it looks like the quality of life here is getting dramatically worse, and everybody's literally feeling like shit, except seemingly for Axie. And it's like Neo and Lana have seemingly made the decision to go into the void with or without Axie, I assume. Because it's not going well. So, this is it. Huh? They took in the sights one last time. It was a huge toll for them to be talking out in the open waters. But despite their bodies' protest, this was something they knew they had to do, as well as starting to show symptoms that, like, Liam had. The layout of the tank had changed drastically throughout the years. They had built it up from nothing and turned it into a grand city, and then smashed that city down a number of times to try a different look. But even if the tank had seen a number of aesthetics in its time, what they saw now could only be described as a mess. Even if many of the buildings were starting to decay, these were still the remnants of some fairly impressive looking structures. To say farewell was hard. The plants had allowed them to focus their willpower to create nearly anything they had ever dreamed of.
I'm a little biased, but I think Yumi and Axie, the three of us, we did a pretty great job in here.
What are you going to miss the most?
Well, I always liked pretending to shop. Do you remember that time when you and Axie built an entire boutique for me in total secrecy?
Yeah, that sure was a pain, hiding it from you for all those months, making up excuses and pretending to do other things.
You led me to the mall as I was blindfolded for what I assumed was just another game, and yelled, "Surprise." It was quite the shock, you know. I had no idea you guys had been planning something for so long. You two treated me like a VIP. Told me I could pick any 2 items in the shop and keep them forever. It was a small touch, but I really liked how you guys didn't let me keep everything. It made the 2 items that I did keep seem special. For me, that day stands out as a wonderful memory. It was so sweet. So incredibly sweet. You guys went to that much trouble just to give me a special day for no reason.
Hey now, you did equally impressive things for me. And the 2 of us together did equally impressive things for Axie.
Let me ask you then, what was one of your favorite moments?
Jeez, there's too many to pick, really. Do you remember the wizard Bakir?
Well, of course. That campaign was one of the best we ever had.
Yeah. We had a lot of long role-playing adventures over the years, but that one really had it all. Betrayal, romance, action, long developing plots and mysteries. The payoff at the end was amazing. A good story is something incredible. That campaign succeeded in immersing me in a whole different world. It was a fun couple of years. Playing the Kingdom of Glass with you two was really something special.
It almost makes me wonder what happened after the end of the demo.
Yeah. We worked on the campaign so long, sometimes I forgot it was based on that old VR demo. But I mean, it was the only basis and setting. Everything else we just made up along the way.
Hero Thief and the Lowly Healer, I remember. They had some cameo appearances too.
Yeah, I only brought them in as NPCs. But there was that one time they were a part of an important subplot. Remember? Looking around, it's hard to wrap my mind around all the priceless experiences we've had in here. There's just too many to count.
Well, let's get going, Neo. While we can still swim.
She held out her hand, took it. Together, for the last time, they walked towards the void. They swam slowly. Not just because their bodies ached, but because they were taking in all the familiar sights along the way, trying to etch them into memory. Just in case they were unable to return. It needs to be said, they did not look for Axie because they knew exactly where he'd be. Oh. Oh, crap. Axie.
Axie?
Axie, we love you. You know we do. But we've given you plenty of warning. Now it's time. Our bodies aren't going to last much longer here. But we'll come back as soon as we're able to. We'll save you and the triplets. I don't need saving. The kids don't need saving. But neither of you need to go into the void. I'm telling you, just wait it out. Don't do something stupid.
Withering and dying here would be the stupid thing to do.
We've got to struggle.
Put up a fight! We don't know what's in the void. Not really.
How many times do I have to tell you? It's only madness and death in there.
I don't think so. Not if Ankh was able to come back from it. Look, even if it is just death, we've got to take the shot.
I won't let you. Make a deal with me. 1 week. We can't do that either. Our bodies and minds are barely holding on as it is. It's now or never.
Then I guess it'll be never. Axie, no.
You especially, Lana. Definitely not you.
Oh. I thought the obsession you had for me went away centuries ago.
Axie's angry face did not falter, even at a joke.
I love you, Lana. But if you die, then it feels like I just might die too. You're more important than even my own life.
If there was one thing that would motivate Axie, it was Lana's safety. All those years ago when Ankh and Axie had their first struggle. It wasn't specifically Ankh beating Lana that caused Axie to blow up. It was when Ankh mentioned throwing Lana into the void. That was what caused his anger to be unleashed. And even though it had been a while, this same sort of madness crept on him again, giving him power.
Ah, shit. I will never let you do it. Look! Axie charged towards them, and at once the pair braced for impact. Axie, stop it! We can't waste energy fighting amongst ourselves!
But Axie knew. He would rather knock them unconscious than let them into the void.
There are two of us. We'll overcome you.
The fact that the two of them were winning, despite their weakened state, said it all. It was clearer than ever to them that Axie had been suppressing his own sickness. They felt his body breathing heavily, and his strength weakening. It didn't look like this would be a long struggle. Neo and Lana were just about to break through.
Axie, I promise this doesn't change anything. One little fight doesn't mean anything.
We've had fights before. All of us. This is just another one for the books. When we next meet, we'll talk about this and make up as we always have.
A cacophony of coughs. All their painful expulsions of air mixed together. Neo felt his chest heaving up and down, threatening to explode. But the tug-of-war was soon to be over, and Axie had begun to realize his defeat.
I won't let you guys die. What will I do without you?
You have to trust us, Axie. After all this time, haven't we earned your trust?
Then, Lana and Neo were pushed back by an unexpected force.
What the?
The babies? Standing next to Axie were three figures. Triplets. Rira, and Lee.
Kids, this is not a game!
But even if it had been a game, the kids had never joined in before. So why now?
Right, darlings. Just know that we're in big trouble if we don't enter the void. We're doing it for your sakes too, so you'll have to move out of the way for now.
I'm sorry we didn't get to say goodbye to you guys. But it's not a real goodbye. We'll be back soon.
All of a sudden, they, along with Axie, rammed into the two weak Axolotls with an incredibly strong force. It was now 2 versus 4, and Lana and Neo knew they didn't stand much of a chance against these odds. I had a sick feeling the kids were going to somehow intervene.
I don't get it. They've barely ever acknowledged us before. Why are you guys pushing against us?
It's because they can't stand to see you kill yourselves either. No, it's the opposite, kids. We'll die if we stay here. Neo, at this rate, we're going to lose. But we can't give up. We've got to keep fighting with everything we've got.
It wasn't a fair match. The three triplets were much stronger than they looked. Even if Lana and Neo had been at their full strengths, triplets could have easily overpowered them. So in this state, they had no chance. Neo and Lana were thrown back, huffing and puffing.
Why? What are you? No.
The eye. No escape. So close. Become. Optimal conditions have become unoptimal. Neo was doing his best to fend off just Axie, but he could do nothing for Lana, who was surrounded. It is time that you become us. The three of them grabbed onto her weakened legs. 2 on one leg and 1 on the other. And then they pulled. There was a loud crack as she winced in pain. She let out a deafening scream. I can't. What? Neo and Axie stopped fighting the second they'd heard the crack. The kids had, in a matter of seconds, torn the legs cleanly off of her body. And a stream of blood floated through the water, muddying everyone's vision.
What the hell?
I didn't want... What?
They tossed her off to the side, and Neo ran as fast as he could, heaving to get to her.
Guys, I don't get it.
Useful before, useless now.
Oh, Lana.
Lana! Lana! Get away from Lana!
I think... Liam? What the hell is going on?
Was this your plan all along?
His mind was racing. He had no time to piece things together. He saw Neo helping an unconscious Lana a few meters away. Still breathing. At least right now, Axie could see she was still breathing. The void was wide and towering. Thankfully, there were many ways to enter through it. Neo limped, and grasping Lana made it even harder to swim, but he still went as fast as he possibly could, heart pounding. Despite Axie shoving against them, despite the triplets ripping off Lana's limbs, it looked like they might get into the void after all.
There needs to be a way to save her.
But the triplets were, if nothing else, fast swimmers. Possibilities unfolded quickly in Axie's mind. If the triplets got there first, then that would be it. They had lied to him. Their plan was to keep them here. So what? It didn't matter. The only thing that mattered right now, the only thing that made any sense, was to save Lana and Neo. He had to swim, 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 swim. It was a mad sprint. He had to get there first. If he didn't, then his family would die in a matter of seconds. When they saw him swimming alongside them, the triplets split up. Two went to go after Neo and Lana, and one stayed to take care of Axie. It was
Out of my way!
Axie charged forward, slamming into A, tumbling them both forward further along the path. A sunk his teeth into whatever body part was nearest to him, which happened to be Axie's tail. Axie's immediate instinct was to wince in pain, but his body let out a cough instead. Then he grit his teeth.
If you want my tail so bad, then just take it!
It was a lucky thing that A had bit onto his tail and not another part of his body. With the strength of Axie's legs pushing off of A's head for a momentum, he charged forward, the tip of his tail being shredded off in the process. Momentum that he had gained from being pushed was worth any amount of pain. It would let him reach his family a moment sooner. He was moving fast, but not fast enough. He could see up ahead that Rira and Lee were almost there.
Lana! Lana! She's going to really die because of me.
Axie too?
That's not for certain, Axie. There's nothing more I can do, is there? Well, in this very moment, she's not dead. You still have time. And you still have energy. You've won almost every single race you've ever had in this tank. You even beat the triplets once, didn't ya? They're already there. One lost race has never stopped you. You always challenge whomever has beaten you again and again. I don't care about the damn race. I care about Lana. Now move out of my way.
Lana, Neo, and Rira and Lee all stood in front of the void. Rira and Lee already had a firm grasp on Neo and Lana. All would have been lost if not for Axie's momentum. He gave it his all. He pushed and wheezed and gasped and ultimately charged into them hard and fast. Somehow, this was enough to move all four of them. No, all five of them, with Axie included, into the cascading void in front of them. In that brief second as they hurled towards their uncertain futures, Neo and Axie made eye contact.
Thank you, Axie. We love you. Please come with us. I thought we could, but I was wrong. We won't be able to do this without you.
Neo had spent decades wandering about the void, theorizing, yearning to know more, and at last he dissolved into it, Lana in his arms. Axie looked around. He too had fallen into the void, but he hadn't disappeared as Neo and Lana had done. It was the spitting image of that day, so long ago. Everything around him was nothingness, and his immediate reaction was panic. He quickly realized He had dragged the two triplets in here with him as well. Despite his aching, despite his total exhaustion, Axie began fuming.
How could you? How could you lie to me? Axie, didn't want to reveal ourselves just yet, but now we've gotta. We remember the void, and if Lana and Neil were to go into it, something terrible is going to happen. Please don't let them hurt themselves. You have to promise, as someone who's been in the void, you know just how horrifying it is in there. It's a fate worse than death. It was a miracle we made it here. Yes, you're right. I did used to be Ankh, but I've changed. Thanks to the love you've given me. And it's me, I'm Liam. Thank you for building all these wonderful things for me, Axie.
So they were whispering sweet nothings into his ear, lying to him. While they didn't talk with the others.
Just like you said, just like you thought, I've adored them. Please keep our identities a secret from them. We'll reveal ourselves when we're ready. We trust you, Axie. We trust you to save our family. That was all a lie, wasn't it? You guys weren't Ankh or Liam. So who are you?
Product of that damn eye.
Counterintelligence. The cancer. The cure. No. The toenail clippings. That's it.
I don't understand. Why are you hurting us?
Much easier. But the tank is already near death. So Abi will have to make a choice. Young.
They went towards him and Axie backed away. All alone, cornered inside the void. At that moment, he felt a sense of helplessness dawn over him.
What's stopping you from joining the others? I don't know how. This body isn't letting me, just like last time. I'll just cough it up. You're sick, aren't you? You need to accept that and learn to trust yourself. I guess you're right. Even if I tried to ignore it. So cough it up quick. They're almost here.
There was something stuck in his throat. He puked, and out came himself? Just like that time all those years ago?
Oh, thank you, Axie.
And almost immediately he could feel his body starting to disassemble itself. Instead of fighting the darkness, he decided to try and embrace it.
Oh, but before I leave, I know you. You want us to do one last somersault, don't you?
He tried. But his body was in the process of leaving. And aside from all that, it was too weak right now. What if I hit S?
Damn it! Then I'll just have to do one for you, won't I? That's what family is for.
Axie smiled. He would listen to his gut.
If I can't do a somersault now, then this must not be the end. Now let me do one for you. It's the least I could do. Whee! Ta-da!
Well, holy shit, that was certainly a thing. Some good music, though. Act 4, Matters of Truth. Delightful. Are we gonna reunite with Liam and Ank?
We made it, didn't we? I think we're inside the void right now, aren't we? We made it! We made it! I can't believe it! There's no ground, but if there was, I'd be hugging it right now. Lana, where are you? I heard your breathing just a second ago. Oh god, it's all coming back to me. Are you okay?
I'm here. But did something horrible just happen? The baby's ripping. Was that just a nightmare? Old memory?
I'm not sure, but I remember it too. Vaguely.
Well, even if it was scary, right now I feel completely fine. I don't hurt at all. So whatever! Let's celebrate! We freaking did it, you guys! We made it somewhere new! Oh, that's right, after all this time, holy shit! Whole new adventure's about to start. But wait. First things first. Where's Axie? Axie, you're okay? Oh, thank goodness.
Oh, Axie, I'm glad too. If you're here, then everything must have gone well. Although I'm still unsure where here is exactly. We don't have bodies right now. And yet, here we are. Talking or communicating somehow with each other. Inside the void, I expected a lot of unexplainable things, but this?
Hey, let me say something to you guys, real quick. I need to apologize. I should have believed in you guys. You were just trying to look out for me. I'm sorry, Hey, we're here and alive, right? No spilled milk. We love you and forgive you. And nothing can change that. But like you were saying, Neo, where do we go from here?
Yeah, this place is quite strange. But man, does it feel so nice to be able to think clearly. Back in the void, I wouldn't have been able to tie my shoelaces right now. That's right. Oh, shoes! I regret never inventing shoes!
Why are you guys changing the topic? I did something really bad. It's only natural that I apologize.
Yeah, it's only natural that they forgive you, dude. Oh.
Yeah, I'm beginning to remember a little more. Something horrible happened to my body. Yeah, the kids, and it was because of me. But hey, it doesn't hurt in here, Axie. Nothing hurts at all. I just feel really calm. Do you see what I'm saying? It's okay. Don't worry about what happened. If you want to apologize for yourself, fine, but don't worry about us.
Actually, now that you mention it, I'm curious. Why did the kids do what they did? Things were moving a little too quickly for me to analyze the situation. Yeah, I knew not to trust the damn kids.
Yeah, about that. A few months ago, they came to me on their own. And they were talking. I mean, like, sentient and stuff. They said what I was thinking at the time. That by you guys going into the void, you'd be killing yourself or doing something even worse. And you guys are my family. I couldn't bear to watch you throw away your lives and die. So, I listened to them.
Well, the triplets sure bamboozled us. That's a bit of an understatement, dude. They bamboozled the absolute fuck at you. I wonder how long they've been able to speak.
Yeah, I don't know when they had the time. The real question is, why did they attack me? If they really wanted to save me, then why'd they go so far as to rip off my limbs?
They must have been trying to keep us away from the void. That's the only thing I can think of that would make even a lick of sense. But it doesn't look like they're here, even if they followed us. I spent a large portion of my life in the tank dreading the void. How bleak it must be. I've had horrible nightmares of this place. But, at least right now, there's nothing to be afraid of in here. It's kinda cozy, actually. Perhaps I'm just happy that we're not in the state that we were. Well, at least I'm not anymore. Being sick like that, it was a real drag. Horrifying, actually. Feels more like a bad dream now that I'm out of it.
Wait, yo? You were sick? Well, I'm glad to hear you're feeling better now.
Liam!
What? No way! No way, no way! You! That green text! I know it anywhere!
Talk about fourth wall there.
I never thought I'd see you again. Is it really you? And the right. No body. Even though I've been here a couple of times, I still don't understand this place at all. It's really you, Liam? You're not lying to me? That's really your name? Well, no. I'm not lying to you, Axie. But for the past, oh gosh, I don't know how long it's been, I've gone by a different name. It feels nostalgic to be called Liam again by someone other than him.
Liam, this is unbelievable! Oh, I wish we talked more way back when, and,
He's such a bore. Why the hell would you want to talk to him when you could be talking with me?
Is that Hank?
Of course. The one and only. Though how could you ever forget a presence this sexy?
Hank.
Hey, Axie.
are you still the same after all this time?
Maybe I am. Let's not waste time then. If you'd like to fight me, let's do it right here and now. Unless you're afraid.
Of you? Never.
Abby said that we don't have bodies here. That means I won't leave a stain when I'm done with you.
Just ignore him. He's just a little grumpy that he didn't get to say goodbye to everyone in town.
In town? Wait a minute. Was that VR really what they were like in their past life?
Huh? You want me to ignore him? Liam, do you understand what you're saying? That's Hank! The same Hank that tormented you! The last time we saw him, he said he was going to torture you in here.
Yeah, well, that was then, and this is now. A lot of time has passed, hasn't it?
Shut up! I could still deal with you now. Torture you until your eyeballs peel off.
He talks big like that, but don't worry, guys.
Why are you defending him?
Good question. Is it because they figured out their past, finally?
Hank of all people!
He always says he'll do all this terrible stuff to me all the time, but he can't. A long time ago, RB tied our souls together. So if he hurts me, he hurts himself. Secondly, I don't think he would hurt me anymore. Not after everything we've been through.
And just what have you been through? You couldn't have been floating in here all this time, right?
Oh God, no! I'd be puking up my own shit if I had to be in this boring place for so long. I don't know how Bracket Boy does it.
Bracket boy?
If you weren't in here, then where were you?
Oh. It's a story, all right.
Maybe even a story and a half. We had new lives. We've lived as humans for a while now.
Did you say you lived as humans?
I fucking called it.
Yeah, and we were even hailed as heroes in this world.
but it wasn't like we lost our memories of you guys or anything.
Oh, that's right, Taxi. Your annoying voice has been haunting my nightmares for ages now.
I bet I'm still as curious as you are about our lives from before. In fact, the last time we were here, RB promised us that we'd learn our real identity soon enough. The identity that predates everything, including the tank. I want to know what happened, but I can't say I'm looking forward to revisiting that place. He showed me a bit of something, a long time ago, and it's been haunting me ever since.
Guess that's why Bracket Boy summoned us back. You know, it's about damn time.
You're still grumpy, aren't you, Hank? You miss her, don't you?
Don't start with me. And you better not say anything else or I'll beat you silly.
Oh?
No! Who does he miss? You better tell me.
His puppy, Gami. He's got a puppy!
Shut up!
Ank? Our Ank? Our Ank is a cute puppy?
Shut the fuck up, Axby, before I...
Okay, hey, I need to know. This place you two lived in, was perhaps our mutual benefactor RB there too?
I don't know if he has a body. There was one time he talked to me, but that was a special occasion.
Bracket Boy's a mysterious little fuck. We've been following his orders for years, and yet we still know next to nothing about him.
His orders?
Well, kind of. We mostly did our own thing, and it sort of aligned with his interests.
And his interests were...
I think he just wanted to restore order to the kingdom.
Wait, you were in a kingdom, Liam?
The Kingdom of Glass!
That's so cool!
Yeah, we lived for half a century or more in a place called the Kingdom of Glass. Never really found out why they named it that way, though. It's not like the kingdom was literally made out of glass.
What? The kingdom of what?
That's just like the world in the old VR headset. And we even used a setting based off of that for one of our longer role-playing campaigns.
Yeah. So the headset we found under the rock must have been...
My rock. Haven't thought of that place in a while. Home sweet home. Was that game real?
You saw us in a game? What the hell kind of trippy shit is that? Well, you must have seen my magic work as well then. I was one of the most powerful sorcerers in the land.
Hey, Liam, I know there's a lot to talk about now, but there's something I've been wondering. Something that's been bothering me for a long time. How's your health been in the years since you left the tank?
Oh, I'm still sick.
Oh, you are? After all this time?
Yep, but it's okay. Not gonna lie, I still have my off days. But generally, things are, well, they're viable now.
Viable? What do you mean?
I've gotten better at managing my symptoms. I can go out and do things, and even think clearly, as long as I pace myself. Life can still be crappy, but it can actually be pretty darn good. Sometimes.
Okay, that's good.
Even if it's been a while, things are still a work in progress. For a long time, life was probably even worse than it had been in the tank. But despite it all, I'm still here. And good times have been had.
And who do you have to thank for some of those good times?
Is he being sarcastic? I can't tell.
Well, we've lived together for a while. I guess there were good times, but it really took a while to get there.
It's still so hard to believe you and Ank getting along together after all this time? But that makes me really happy.
I don't know if getting along is the right word. But I can tolerate him. Since you guys are so nosy about us, now we get to be nosy about you. What have you dumbasses been doing for the past 60 years?
I guess, simply put, living.
We haven't been on any grand adventure like it sounds like the two of you went on, but we did have an enjoyable, relaxing time in the tank.
What are you talking about?
We did go on a couple of adventures, though we made them up ourselves. Still, they were amazing. Beyond amazing.
So, how has the tank been doing all this time? And my rock?
Your rock has been mostly untouched. Well, we made a statue sticking out of the bottom of it, but that's all. But the rest of the tank is... well...
It's changed quite a bit. There have been multiple eras of it, even. I think we've all thought of points that you'd probably love what it turned into.
Tell me. Tell me all about it. I'm really interested.
Well, do you recall the colorful plants that grew near the northwest corner? You'll never imagine how key those plants were to the wonderful life we lived.
Okay, I'll admit, it's nice them all being able to catch up. Also, kind of Ankh seemingly being much more tolerable of Liam, and that's... I think it's mostly because they finally learned, like, what their past was, that they were able to kind of... I guess kind of turn a new leaf or something, but damn. As the two parties caught up, another listened in as well. I wonder, is all my hard work about to pay off? Or are you five nothing more than another dud? After all this time, suppose the moment of truth is here. I hope you're ready. I hope your time in the kingdom and your time in the tank has allowed you to reason out the truth.
Well, that wasn't everything, not even close, but it should give you a fairly good picture as to what we've been doing for the past eternity.
It sounds like it was a lot of fun. And really relaxing.
If you ask me, it sounds boring compared to the kind of shit that we've been doing. Unlike your silly role-playing campaigns, we had to deal with real magic. And wars! And monsters!
Still, I wouldn't trade our lives in the tank for anything. Neither would I. Even if the ending was messy, I wouldn't trade it for nothing.
I'm a bit curious as well. As to this supposed messy ending of yours.
That's him, isn't it? It's gotta be him. I remember that way of talking from the messages. I knew you'd come by sooner or later. I guess it's finally time for us to meet, RB.
From my perspective, we met several times before, Neo. But I suppose there's no way you could know that. Very well. I will do my best to live up to your imagination, then. Allow me to introduce myself properly. I am Rock Bottom, the Territory Lord. And from this point onwards, until I dismiss you, or until the end of time, I am your master. I am your master and you are my minions. That is the nature of our relationships henceforth. Now, here in this tiny slice of transitional strands stands the 5 seeds I planted so long ago. You 5, my new minion. Potential key players in the conflict yet to come.
Hey, what about Liam and I? We've been doing more than chopping liver for you these last few years, bracket boy.
All was in preparation for this exact day, this exact moment. Though I suppose that means less to me, the manipulator of time.
So what do you want us to do? More importantly, what happens if we're not prepared for this conflict?
You will rest, as you shall not be useful in the war, and be discarded like the vast majority of essences you see floating around you. But lament not this possibility. It will cause you no more pain, and depending on the outcome of the future, you may be better off that way. Besides, as for the task I ask of you now, it is simply answering a question.
A test? You're saying our lives come down to a test? I always got last place whenever we had quiz night.
I think we'll be answering this question together, Axie. Is that correct, Abi?
Indeed. So then, Axie, Lana, Liam, Enk, Neo. The final question. The first and last and most important question. Who are you?
Huh? Who are we?
Guys, I thought this might be the question he'd ask us. In fact, I've even prepared a possible answer.
When he said that, something came to mind. Something that's crossed my mind a few times over the years. Well, I'm second guessing myself. But I guess I've got to answer too. Go with my gut. The last time I was in here, with RB and Ank, some troubling things were said. It was from that conversation that I was able to come up with an idea that might be the answer as well.
Oh, please, Bracket Boy, that question is so fucking easy. Anyone with half a goddamn brain could get it. Why do you think I finally stopped hating Liam?
But we only came to an understanding a couple of years ago. We lived in the Kingdom of Glass for over 25 years under the same roof.
Shut up!
Anyway, it sounds like we're all out on the same page. Are you ready? Let's say what's on our minds all at once, on the count of 3. 2, 3, 4, 5. We're one and the same. Oh.
It sounds like you all came to that conclusion separately.
For a long time, I had some idea. I might not have always been confident enough to bet my life on it, as I just have, but it was an intriguing hypothesis. For a while, I assumed it was only me, Lon, and Axie who must be the same. But that just didn't feel right.
It's something I hoped was secretly true. The idea that came to me one day in the tank randomly, and thought it was just a mild intuition. The idea never left. Never in my wildest dreams. It was this conversation that really gave it away. Talking to Liam and Enk after all these years like no time had passed at all. It's weird to say aloud, but it really did feel like catching up with myself.
I found out the reason why I hate myself. It's the only thing that made any sense at all.
We've all hurt each other at points, haven't we? This begs another question, doesn't it? If once upon a time we all occupied the same consciousness, what was our collective name? Is it possible for us to know that, even with all the information we currently have?
Well, of course it is. I won't penalize you for not knowing, but you could think of it as a sort of bonus question if you'd like.
Isn't it obvious, you idiots? Our name together has to be Ank.
Ah, gross.
Yeah, well, let's see you brainiacs come up with a better idea.
I might have one. Throughout the years, I spent many nights hunched over to my lab looking at my notes. There was a particular time, one of my less pleasant lower hours, during an earlier portion of the tank's history.
Oh, hello. Oh, I can see it. Alan, Allen.
See it.
At the time, I was spending hours in a stupor hoping that the void would work again. Just absently staring at our names printed down on a page. It was just lucky that I had accidentally arranged our names in the format I did, in the order I did. But now that I think about it, was it luck at all? Was it an infinite amount of monkeys pressing random keys on a typewriter? Or was it simply some form of intuition, as you have just suggested, Lana? An old memory coming back? Either way, I came across this configuration. By taking the first letter from each of our names in this order and putting them together. Alan. The name stuck out to me in a way I can't quite put into words. It rang a bell somewhere deep inside my heart. I imagine it's hard to forget your own name, yet somehow I have. Is that right, Arby? Or have I made some mistake? Even if the name stood out to me at the time, there wasn't much I could do, even with this assumption. At the time, I was afraid of opening up old wounds and bringing it up to you guys. It's always been in the back of my mind, though. Eventually, I sort of forgot about it. It's not like we didn't have other things going on at the time. It's only now that it seems to be all coming together. What do you think, everyone?
Neo? I think I just realized the full gravity of what you've been trying to say. If this is true, that we are all secretly the same Alan character, then I've been an egghead all along? No! It can't be! They'll call me Axie the Egghead! They'll beat me up and take my lunch money and leave me out in the rain like a dog! Alan, huh? That's a boy's name. Can't say I'm not disappointed. I was hoping that we'd be a girl. A cute girl.
I knew all along that we must have had a different name. It sounds familiar to me, too. I would go with Neo on this one.
Alright, so we know our goddamn name. Whoop-dee-fucking-do. So, what's the word, bracket boy? Do we pass your stupid-ass test?
You do. Congratulations, Alan. You've passed all the prerequisites I set out for you. This, in itself, does not mean your essence is ready. But it does mean I'm comfortable gambling on that possibility.
Mr. RB, sir. I think it's safe to say that you lost me. What are you comfortable gambling us on?
I think we're going back somewhere. A place that's haunted me ever since we've been separated.
So you have an idea, then?
Yeah. You three have never been through this before.
It's not fun, even for a sadist like me. Your head will feel fuzzy, and you'll start remembering weird shit like you're hallucinating.
Oh, is it that? It's that room, isn't it?
Although remembering things last time made things even more confusing to me for a while.
Now that the 5 of you are gathered here, you'll be able to see much more of the truth. Tell this story of your life amongst yourselves. Fill in gaps of knowledge that others are missing. And then come back to me, and we can start the process for you to become Alan again. This is, of course, assuming none of your essences shatter.
I always knew I'd have to revisit that time. Well, I'm as ready as now as I'll ever be.
What say the rest of you? If you are not ready, then I must postpone this.
I'm ready to have my hopes of being a cute girl dash into oblivion, if that's what you mean. Little kid me better be saying hiya. And it better be adorable.
Yes. Let's go.
Back to that time, huh? Well then, bring it on.
Even if you may have once shared the same essence, it does not change the fact that you are now distinct, different personalities. You return, we'll have more to talk about. Good luck. Not every project of mine reaches this point. 5 of you have potential. Good luck. 5 distinct personalities, each with their own specific trait that defines them, all existing in one body. Interesting. Okay, that was a white flash that's... Oh god, no.
Well, we're here. Right off the bat, huh? It looks like we're going to have to deal with this place first.
And that's actually where I kind of need to end it for right now. Okay, so bit of an interesting little twist there. All 5 of the axolotls were actually part of one person. All existing in one body, but they're all distinct personalities. So, somebody with dissociative identity disorder or split personality. That or these personalities were formed after this individual Alan had a break. Or something, I don't know. Some sort of trauma that resulted in him creating 5 different personalities. First off, I didn't expect I'd get to see Liam and Ank again together. Second, I didn't expect that those babies were... Well, I mean, I had a feeling that they were... But I didn't expect them to actually just rip off Lana's tail like that. That was very unpleasant. And finally, the fact that Liam and Ank are actually getting along. I never expected that. And it looks like finally I'm going to be able to get some answers that I've been looking for. So, if you all like this, be sure to let me know. Thank you all very much for watching, and I will definitely see all of you guys in the next goddamn video.